hoops are heating up in Turner Gymnasium. Just 2 games remain in the regular season as we look to solidify the ODAC tournament field. A crucial midweek matchup is on the way as the visiting Roanoke Maroons look to spoil the story for the hometown Lynchburg Hornets. Hi everybody, welcome to the Hill City. Evan Gates rocking with you in this ODAC matchup. As we said, just one more game left in the regular season after this one. 2 teams that sit at 5-9 on the regular season. This one feels important, and it sure does for Lynchburg's Kate Littlejohn, the player to watch for the Hornets, who is a Roanoke transfer. Certainly looking to have a handprint on this contest, and she has done so in recent memory throughout the season, averaging over 12 points per game, 3.5 boards, and you just really feel like the 5 games she missed due to injury were important ones for Lynchburg to try and stay competitive in, because she has soared since returning to the Hive. And this is a Roanoke team that certainly has aspirations to come back after they had dropped 5 in a row. They are back in the picture with a chance to get to the ODAC tournament, but they've got to get past this Lynchburg team. They'll try to do so with Ashley Fowler, number 14 for the Maroon and Black, and she has put on a show throughout the season. No Paige Brewer tonight for Roanoke, so Fowler, one of the key pieces who has started off 23 games this season, averaging north of 12 points and 6 boards per game. The D2 transfer from Coker University has really shown what she's capable of this season. Now as a junior, this is a very youthful Roanoke team looking to stay competitive. And as we take a look at our stats going into this game, they look very identical between these 2 teams. 2 different ways of getting there. Lynchburg has felt pretty firm in their position to get to the ODAC tournament throughout the year, whereas it's a little bit different for this Roanoke team. They had to do the surge later in the year. They have an opportunity now to be right in the mix. Lynchburg taking on Roanoke. It's a big one in Lynchburg, Virginia. We hope you stay with us for 40 minutes of action on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Lineups and tip on the other side. Excited to get this one underway. Lynchburg taking on Roanoke. If you're just tuning in on this Wednesday evening, welcome in to the Hive. Let's take a look at the Maroons starters for this one. As we said, no Paige Brewer, who was the ODAC Rookie of the Year last season, an all ODAC second team selection. So Roanoke is going to have to make do. They certainly have a committee effort that has really propelled them to new heights this season. Just trying to get back to that ODAC tournament as we take a look at Farmer and Kane with Snezerev, Tate, and Fowler. Let's take a look at Lynchburg starters on the other end. A familiar 5 for Coach Nichols' squad. Kate Littlejohn, our player to watch, paired up with Sayla Parker in the backcourt. Audra Petty, the sensational sophomore, with Brooke Kaysen and Bree Spainhour, two of the veterans that have helped this Lynchburg team, especially in some difficult games. We have seen two tight affairs in the last two for the Hornets. They got a narrow win on the road against Hollins, dropped their game against Averett, and both of those games decided by just one possession. We certainly feel like this one has an opportunity to be trending in a similar direction. Two teams that are very familiar with one another. They look very similar on paper as well. Averaging just about 65 points per game, and it could be a sprint from the starting line. As Lynchburg will be in their home whites, Roanoke, the visiting blacks, just about ready to get this one underway. We mentioned there's a lot of history. You can't ignore the transfers, the coaching changes from the last 5 years. Always feels like there's a new page to the puzzle. And for Lynchburg, a team obviously led by Coach Allison Nichols, who is a former associate head coach at Roanoke. Kate Littlejohn, the star guard for the Hornets, who played for the Maroons early in her career. This is a new chapter for Lynchburg. They have a lot of sense that they can do something damaging this season, but they got to get to the postseason. We'll see who can clinch their spot in the final week as Roanoke corrals the tip. We're up and away. Perhaps a shorter lineup than Lynchburg is used to facing, but as we said, Roanoke will really run throughout this game. They like the three-point ball as well as Kane dishes outside. Now a few dribbles from Snezerev, dishes off. Tate from the short corner goes up and in. Beg your pardon, that's Alicia Farmer on the board for her first 2 points. Farmer, the 5'11 junior from Danville. Really significant role this season. Littlejohn, cross court to Kaysen, connects for the first 3 of the ball game. Brooke Kaysen has certainly been timely this year. Her three-point percentage starting to propel itself in the latter stages. Far side, Snezerev gonna dish to Fowler. She tries her luck with a 3, clipped the left iron and out. The rebound by Farmer, a nice dish to a cutting Fowler. That's an opportunity that Lynchburg's going to want to try and eliminate. Those offensive boards in this game could be crucial between two teams that, as we said, statistically are very even. Lynchburg's turnovers have also started to bite them throughout the year. Pass denied. There's one of them. Alicia Farmer gets her paws on it. Snezerev down the floor to Fowler. Gonna kick back out. Three-point shot, no good. The rebound right into the melting pot. Middle of the paint. Jump ball, Lynchburg takes over. That is where this game could be won. Talk about the bullseye on the archery board. That middle of the court, as we said, has really been controlled well by other teams in recent memory. Lynchburg, a team that has struggled to rebound. Out-rebounded in their last 5 contests. Parker gives it up to Littlejohn. Looking to run. Will pick up her dribble right at the free throw line. Kaysen, another no good. And Sayla Parker almost with the offensive board on the other end. 5 ODAC games today, all of them beginning at 7 o'clock or later. An important Wednesday evening for the conference. Saturday, the final game day conference tournament next week. Farmer, quick pass to Kane, will go downstairs to Fowler. Trying her luck with Audra Petty. A lot of defensive versatility. Mariah Kane off the mark with the layup. Lynchburg has numbers the other way. Littlejohn through traffic. Couldn't connect for the and one. 2 shots at the line for the junior from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Madison Hoffman enters the contest. Sayla Parker to the bench. Lynchburg team playing their first home game in 11 days. As Littlejohn knocks home the first. 14 of the team's 25 games this season have been played right here in Turner Gymnasium, so it has been a much appreciated sight for this Hornet squad, trying to use it to their advantage down the stretch. Obviously, this is the final regular season home game. Go on the road to face EMU. Kane, right wing, bounce pass to Farmer. Gonna try to get past Hoffman. Another pass downstairs, and Fowler's denied on the way up. The ball took a skip off the back of Brooke Kaysen, who has been so disruptive throughout the last few games. Go back to some of her stat lines. It is just magnificent what she has been capable of. Kane looks for the inbound, goes all the way north, out to Farmer. Snazarev, mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded by Petty. First few minutes could certainly indicate a lot of what to expect. So far, it's been relatively even as Petty's pass is denied. How about the effort from Kane to keep it in bounds? Ball in her hands, trying to drive baseline and stepped on the wrong part of it. Lynchburg takes over. Nice defense downstairs. First substitute for Roanoke now as number 11, Ingrid Mariah, steps in. Out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Go back to Brooke Kaysen's stat line. Already had that triple to get the game started. Against Hollins, had 7 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. Just a stat stuffer. How about a supreme scorer? Audra Petty connects for 2, and the Hornets go up 3. Quick offense on the other end, and a nice lay-in from Mariah Tate. The freshman from Bedford, Virginia, just down the road, getting her first start for the Maroons. Has appeared in 23 games this year. Hoffman. Up top to Kaysen, finds an open Petty, and she rattles it home. One of those shots you can second guess when you're that open. Audra Petty found the pocket of space. Right side, Snazarev. Find Cecilia Robinson up top. The shot well off the mark from the corner. Now a foot race the other direction. Kaysen trying to catch up. How about the transition defense? Mariah Tate, the freshman, showing off the wheels. Ashley Vandergrift steps in for Lynchburg along with Abigail Rice for the Maroons. Hornets basketball under the bucket. 5:42 to go here in the first quarter. Hoffman will find Vandergrift up top, a sharpshooter. Now right side, handoff to Spainauer. Kaysen wants another 3. Can't knock it home. And Vandergrift able to get the rebound. A slew of offensive boards to kick this game off as Brooke Kaysen's pass little over the top of Taylor Brown. That'll fall out of bounds. Tate dishes off to Rice, or Robinson, and pass given away again. Lynchburg unable to get into that transition. Roanoke's defense high and tight. Marias wanted the steal and the deflection. Instead, it remains Hornets basketball. 4:58 to go in the first quarter. We've got a good one between the Maroons and the Hornets. Stick around on LHSN.
See, in this hive, everybody has a place. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is a part of the swarm. We are engineers of empathy, architects of tomorrow, storytellers of today. We're not waiting to change the world. We already doing it.
College taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's gonna become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academics. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited.
Midway through the first, Lynchburg leads by 3. They have the basketball on the side as Madison Hoffman looks to inbound. Straight from the corner, goes into Brown. Trying to find the cutter. Now working. Pass, cross court, Vandergrift. Can't get the 3 to go. An unhealthy bounce went straight up in the air. Roanoke takes over. This Roanoke team coming off a 10-point defeat against Shenandoah. Now is back on Saturday. Shenandoah's starters contributed 70 of the team's 71 points. So Roanoke obviously struggling against just that 5 for the first set of opposing Hornets. Now they have another set, trying to get the victory on this Wednesday. Rice up top. Now looking for Fowler. Farmer wants to go baseline, got past Kaysen, just a little too heavy. Offensive rebound, going the Maroons' way again. There comes Fowler. Connects to the corner, mid-range falls. Nice shot from Cecilia Robinson, and 2 more second chance points for the Maroons. Obviously missing Paige Brewer is important, one of the best shooters in the conference. Last year was 3rd in Division III for free throw shooting, if that tells you anything about what she did in her freshman campaign, as Alicia Farmer can't catch up to the basketball. Littlejohn and Petty back into the game. But this year, obviously that sophomore season can be difficult to keep the same pace. Brewer averaging 10 points per game, 2.5 rebounds. But when you're the 2nd Rookie of the Year in Roanoke history for this program, expectations are lofty, and she is certainly wanting to continue improving throughout her tenure. 5 on the shot clock. Littlejohn off to Vandergrift. Gonna have to hoist and can't get it to fall. Passing isn't terrible for Lynchburg on that possession, but Roanoke will take advantage once again. Stats so far, as we expected, knotted up, including the score, just a 1-point game. Farmer works from the left side out to Fowler. Here's another 3-point opportunity from the corner, no good, and another offensive board. Around the merry-go-round, and a nice mid-range jumper from Fowler. Roanoke starting to find their footing. They're up 1 as Taylor Brown passes into Audra Petty. You already see the defensive prowess from Alicia Farmer, and she causes the double dribble. She has been a pest early in this game. Hence the reason that she has started every game this season for Roanoke and earned a large portion of the minutes. The transfer from UVA Wise, ready to take the ball up the court. Her first season with Roanoke averaged just 5 points per game. She has really solidified a complete portfolio this year as the pass is off the hand of Robinson and out of bounds. Two teams that retained a large portion of their starters from last year. Lynchburg with 4 of their top 5 scorers from last season, minus Olivia Harris. Searching for a big-time win as Littlejohn lost the ball, rolls out of bounds, and Maroons take over. Beg your pardon, they'll reverse the call, so everybody making the jog up the court. They'll stroll right back. Lynchburg's top 3 scorers of those 4 that returned are each shooting over 43%. So you think about the efficiency they've had, and a strong shooting day against Averett just couldn't hold the Cougars on the other end. Farmer, quick pass to Fowler, and this one's heading to the corner. John Waters, the athletic director, didn't know he was going to have his hands on a basketball in this contest as Kaysen inbounds to Littlejohn. Lynchburg trailing by 1 here in the first quarter. Lynchburg hasn't beaten Roanoke at home since the team's 2021 ODAC championship game. Just after COVID, played right here in Turner. Littlejohn from the free throw line and around the cylinder. Strong pace and feel for the game for Littlejohn, who has really excelled now in her junior season. Didn't know she'd be playing at the point guard position upon her arrival. It's been very similar as the pass is out of bounds again. Frustrating on either end for both coaches as you're now looking at 10 combined turnovers, 5 apiece for these two squads in the first quarter. Think about this Roanoke team that has really dominated the series in recent years. You feel like they've enjoyed their time in Turner Gymnasium. We said that Lynchburg hasn't won since 2021. What's even more impressive, this is the 6th consecutive season that Roanoke has traveled to Lynchburg. Obviously some conference realignment, teams going in and out, that changes the schedule and the home and aways. Zadra Petty ready for 3, off the cylinder and rebounded by Kane. So the Maroons not only enjoying their time in the Hill City, but they've gotten it very frequently. Kane trying to use the screen, now going down against Littlejohn. Dishes out to the right. Abigail Rice. Straight to the block. Out top, Fowler ready to hoist, no good. Hornets can run the other direction. Now Littlejohn left to Kaysen. Opportunity for Canada, right side of the rim. Able to get her hand on it in transition and a foul in transit. Lynchburg, oh so close to causing another turnover. Caitlin Canada has been very sneaky throughout her freshman campaign and a solid presence for this Hornets bench. 17th appearance of the year. Someone who can really get hot in a hurry as well on the offensive end. She'll step out of the game. Sayla Parker back in, 31 ticks left in this first quarter, and that's the reason why, the tight defense on the far side. Now Kane. Surveying, goes into Robinson. Tackled by Kaysen. Snazarev to the corner, Fowler. No good. An offensive rebound by Robinson. 2 chances ensuing. Cecilia Robinson, 39 offensive boards on the season. Leads the team in that category. She's going to add 1 more. And a trip to the free throw line. 52% shooter on the season. This is the front end. Here's another look at the offensive rebound, and we've seen Ashley Fowler get to that short corner very often as well. Back and forth we go in the first quarter, the final possession of it. Littlejohn driving, puts the ball up, and gets it to fall. Stuck the landing on the way into the paint, and Lynchburg extends the lead to 3. We've got a tight battle here through 1 complete. The Hornets feeling good on the home hardwood.
To start my dream program for physical therapy.
A trademark of this place is self-expression. Not forced, not filtered, not a facade. We don't shape students into copies. We help you find your own voice.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
Here in Lynchburg, the cage birds don't just sing, they soar. Because at Lynchburg, they were finally seen. A trademark of this place.
Welcome back as we get set to start the second quarter. A look at the ODAC standings with just 2 games to go in the regular season. Washington and Lee still unblemished at the top. And Lynchburg right now holding on to that 8th spot. Roanoke in 9th. It feels important as we enter this final week. And there's certainly a lot to discover as Roanoke starts with the basketball in the second. Trailing by 3 in a game that could go either direction. Lynchburg won the first meeting at Roanoke earlier in the season. A win tonight would not only put them a game ahead, but would also secure that tiebreaker as the shot's off the mark. So obviously, Lynchburg with a win is certainly in the ODAC tournament. Pass from Spainhour downstairs to Brown. Readjusts midair and off the window for 2. Taylor Brown, the Charleston, South Carolina native. Snazarev searching for options. Now the handoff to Fowler. Roanoke has 5 different scorers so far, each with a pair. Tate trying to get to the rack, a little too heavy off the glass. Secured by Spainhour. Now Littlejohn, a race to the rim, goes outside to Brown, maybe clipped on the way up. Doesn't get the contact, it falls into the hands of Tate. Tight defense from this Lynchburg team, holding Roanoke to just 31% from the field. Now Snazarev, surveying, find Fowler at the elbow. Kane, all the way to the rack. Tate Littlejohn thought she got it cleanly. A little too much contact with the body, so 2 shots on the way. Here's a second look. You see that left arm from Littlejohn. Hard to tell when the whistle was blown. But either way, Mariah Kane has 2 freebies on the way. That'll send Littlejohn to the bench. Mariah Kane unable to sink the first. Senior out of Harrisonburg, Virginia. Got her 22nd start of the season tonight. Can't get the free throws to fall, but a hustle to the corner. Gets the offensive board right back. Cross-court pass, the 3 from Snazarev. And a deadly offensive rebound. Now Kane trying to disrupt on the other end. Vandergrift goes outside to Hoffman. Those are the possessions that can just kill you as a coaching staff. Especially for Mariah Kane. On the season hasn't been a great free throw shooter, just 61%. Vandergrift looks left. Here comes Hoffman trying to go around the world and gets it to fall. Stayed on the outer orbits of the paint. Use that right hand. Here's Alicia Farmer, race to the other end. Can't get it to go. Vandergrift pass downstairs. Brown off the backboard, couldn't curl in. Taylor Brown getting some solid opportunities as Tate can't get it to go. Hoffman to set up the offense. Stellar minutes to start the second quarter with Audra Petty sitting at the scorer's table as Spainhour is fouled in elevation. She'll look to get on the board as Petty enters the game along with Abigail Rice. Bree Spainhour scored in double figures 12 times last year. Of course, recovering from that torn ACL in the spring. What a presence she has been in her senior season. Understands the height this Lynchburg team is trying to get to, and this is that time of the year where you can really change the picture with just a few games. can erase that regular season if you go and get a win in the ODAC tournament. The problem that these two teams will face is they're likely playing Washington and Lee. Turnover from the Maroons. Here comes Audra Petty steaming ahead. Gets the separation. A professional move from Petty, and Kaysen ripped it right back. Hornets on the other end will slow things down. That is some senior leadership from Kaysen. Now Spainhour trying to get to the rim, no good. Alicia Farmer starts the break on the other end, right into the body of Vandergrift. Stood straight up, but the second chance by Fowler will issue some free throws. An impressive sequence. See Alicia Farmer barreling through, really physical on the offensive end. Very similar to what we saw from Audra Petty. First free throw goes for Fowler. The Roanoke team that occupied fourth in the preseason poll. They finished 13-13 last season. Lofty expectations for Coach Carla Flaherty's squad this year. And while they haven't exactly measured up to what they expected in the ODAC standings, now sitting at 9th, they are going to retain so much of their starting rotation next year. Kaysen, handoff to Petty. As it swiped away momentarily, Ashley Fowler all over it. Now Hoffman, 8 on the ticker. Spainhour's pass disrupted out to Kaysen. Petty, gonna have to fire, trying to go to the bucket. Got the shot off through traffic. Spainhour crashes in for the offensive board. Up for 2. Fowler, other direction. Now quick passing from Roanoke. Snezerev, another 3. Swishes it home. How timely have her buckets been in this first half? A chess match between Lynchburg and Roanoke. Hornets up 4. Trying to topple the Maroons, or without one of their best guards in the conference, Paige Brewer. Petty, wraparound pass to Spainhour, trying to create the separation. Curls out. Here comes Snazarev again. Got to feed the hot hand, but Brooke Kaysen has played stellar defense throughout the night. Defense as it goes downstairs isn't good enough. Abigail Rice up and in for 2. Both teams have certainly taken lids off the bucket. Scoring has been high percentage looks. That's another opportunity for Lynchburg. They won't connect. Brooke Kaysen misses the 3. Rice goes to Snazarev in the corner. Wanted another, and it's rebounded by Petty. Got ripped out. Petty's body language looked like it was Roanoke ball. Instead, Lynchburg will have possession. 4:24 to go in the second quarter. Hornets by a pair. Lynchburg, Roanoke, 22-20. Hornets by 2. A look at the Roanoke bench and Coach Carla Flaherty, her 12th season for the Maroons, and another look at some of Lynchburg's prowess from that start to the second quarter. A lot of high percentage looks as we advertised. They have been right in the paint. You see the offensive board by Spainhour as well. For the Maroons, it's all behind the perimeter. Nadia Snezarev, sophomore from Cary, North Carolina, a pair of three-pointers in this game that have really helped this Maroons offense. Roanoke will take it the other direction. Alicia Farmer finds Snezarev down the court. A little extra patient this time. Farmer denied down low. Rice sticks the landing, and we're all knotted up at 22. A Roanoke team that knows no quit. Think about how this season has gone and the streaks that we've talked about. As that's an offensive foul going the other way. Selah Parker charged with the personal. That'll be her first of the contest. This is a Roanoke team that has won 4 of its past 5 games. Lynchburg has dropped 4 of its past 5 games. So once upon a time, it felt like Lynchburg was almost certainly going to be heading to the ODAC tournament, the top 8 of the conference. Instead, Roanoke has written an extra page to the story, saying we're not done yet. And a win tonight could mean they have a golden opportunity. Of course, that next game going to be difficult as they face Randolph-Macon. Lynchburg would face EMU. So to force a tiebreaker scenario, Lynchburg would have to get the win, and Roanoke would have to lose. Taylor Brown up and in from that right block. Contributions on the offensive end from 22 and White. Taylor Brown, when she gets the right matchup, can really score in a hurry. While it's been more sporadic this season, she's the tallest player on this Lynchburg team at 6'2". It's Ashley Fowler, can't get it down the hatch. They might go back downstairs to Brown again, guarded by Mariah Kane. As we said, very rarely do you see Lynchburg with a size advantage. We've got a tall lineup with Jacobisi up top as well. Almost lost the basketball. Now Brown, turnaround jumper again, spins out. Here come the Maroons the other way. Fowler pass to Kane. They will say it's a kicked ball. Selah Parker maybe bailed out as she had both arms up, trying to deny that pass into the paint. 24 paint points so far in this one between the two squads. Fowler can't get this one to go. Not afraid to shoot. That's her 8th field goal attempt. Still struggling though, 1 for 8. Ashley Fowler, as we advertised, has really been a key piece for Roanoke, as it's a swipe downstairs from Cecilia Robinson. Able to get that hand up, knock it out of bounds. Spainhour, Vandergrift, and Kayla Terry into the game. There's a second look at it. But Fowler on the season for the Maroons, averaging 12 points per game. She had just 3 points in the team's first meeting back in Salem. 2 games prior, she had put up 24. So obviously Coach Flaherty would like the latter situation from number 14 in black. Hornets have to shoot. Kaysen, did she get that shot off? Won't matter, misses the rim. Maroons take over, 1:37 to go in the first half. Can't overstate this Maroons team without Paige Brewer, one of the leading guards for this program, as Kane and a little extra contact on her way to the rim. Second foul on Brooke Kaysen. Gotta give credit to Mariah Tate for Roanoke, getting her first start on the road in a pivotal game. Another member of the backcourt, Mariah Kane, ready to inbound. Goes outside to Robinson. Here is Tate. Tries to go over the top, connects with her teammate, can't get the easy jumper. 2 feet out. It'll be 2 shots for Roanoke and Abigail Rice. Roanoke in the bonus rest of the way here in the first half. Abigail Rice, the Winston-Salem native. 5 points last time out versus Shenandoah, and she has made big strides. Each year she has returned for the Maroons. Getting 3 starts this season. A little extra physicality down low as well, as Audra Petty will replace Taylor Brown. For a Roanoke team that, as we said, could be undersized in matchups against those taller teams, the Giants of the ODAC, the Mathenis, and the Slicerners. They have still been able to fight. Found their footing late in the season. Spainauer tries to connect to Vandergrift on the bounce pass baseline, and an unfortunate happening for Roanoke. Robinson got the basketball just out of bounds. 1:07 to play in the first half. Kayla Terry set to inbound under the bucket. Looking for Petty up top. Canada will go outside, thought about the shot, now looking to penetrate, off balance, and gets it to go. Audra Petty able to connect as it curls off the back iron and in. A floater in that position is so difficult, trying to figure out where to even place the basketball, and a turnover on the other end. See if Coach Nichols wants to speed things up and go 2 for 1. 42 seconds to go here in this first half. Kayla Terry. Putting a little extra charge into the offense. Look for Petty down low. Vandergrift, straight away 3, no good. They will say a foul on the rebound. This time on Mariah Kane. That'll keep possession with the Hornets. Pass connects with Petty down low. Couldn't get the easy one, but Caitlin Canada will. 2 points off the offensive board. Lynchburg moves ahead by 5. Final possession of the first half. Tate charging to the rim. Couldn't sink it. And a foul on the rebound. Audra Petty took some punishment as the ball came down. So we'll have an extra one. Lynchburg with 6 seconds to work with. Vandergrift will bounce this one up the floor. Terry charging into the front court. Chance to go all the way, lost the basketball, and can't get a shot off. 28-23 is where we stand through 20 minutes. Lynchburg needs a win to secure that spot in the ODAC tournament. They've played well enough to do it here in the first half. We'll see if they hold on the other side. Halftime stats and analysis coming up on LHSN.
This is self-expression. Not forced, not filtered, not a facade. We don't shape students into copies. We help you find your own voice, unapologetic, authentic. Because to be a Hornet is to think differently.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and road sports. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature, you'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference, being real, innovative, and strong wherever you are. Creating change. You believe the world can be better. We all can be better. And here is where we start making it happen. Fostering belonging. No matter who you are, here, you're home. Achieving excellence. From the classroom to the court, we don't settle. Neither should you. Lynchburg, it's in our DNA. Today, tomorrow, always.
This is the dough. It's wicked cute. It's always so pretty.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference. Creating change. Fostering belonging. Achieving excellence. Lynchburg, it's in our DNA.
Honors for anybody looking to make a difference.
It's really community and connecting with the people around you.
It's been one of my favorite parts of college.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference. Being real, innovative, and strong wherever you are. Creating change. You believe the world can be better. We all can be better. And here is where we start making it happen. Fostering belonging. No matter who you are, here, you're home. Achieving excellence. From the classroom to the court, we don't settle. Neither should you. Lynchburg, it's in our DNA. Today, tomorrow, always.
Your calling is beyond the classroom. This is where you feel at home, where you feel connected. And this is the place where you'll answer that call. Here, you'll learn to lead the way in the industry you love. The equestrian sport management major at the University of Lynchburg. Accepting applications now.
See, in this hive, everybody has a place. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is a part of the swarm. We are engineers of empathy, architects of tomorrow, storytellers of today. We're not waiting to change the world. We already doing it.
in college taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's gonna become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academic. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited to start my dream program for physical therapy.
A trademark of this place is self-expression. Not forced, not filtered, not a facade. We don't shape students into copies. We help you find your own voice.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
Here in Lynchburg, the cage birds don't just sing, they soar. Because at Lynchburg, they were finally seen. A trademark of this place is self-expression. Not forced, not filtered, not a facade. We don't shape students into copies. We help you find your own voice. Unapologetic, authentic. Because to be a Hornet is to think differently.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and road course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature, you'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference, being real, innovative, and strong wherever you are. Creating change. You believe the world can be better. We all can be better. And here is where we start making it happen. Fostering belonging. No matter who you are, here, you're home. Achieving excellence. From the classroom to the court, we don't settle. Neither should you. Lynchburg, it's in our DNA. Today, tomorrow, always.
This is the dough. It's wicked cute. It's always so pretty.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference. Creating change. Fostering belonging. Achieving excellence. Lynchburg, it's in our DNA.
Honors for anybody looking to make a difference.
It's really community and connecting with the people around you.
It's been one of my favorite parts of college.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference. Being real, innovative, and strong wherever you are. Creating change. You believe the world can be better. We all can be better. And here is where we start making it happen. Fostering belonging. No matter who you are, here, you're home. Achieving excellence. From the classroom to the court, we don't settle. Neither should you. Lynchburg, it's in our DNA. Today, tomorrow, always.
Your calling is
Welcome back to Lakeside Drive through 20 minutes. Lynchburg leads Roanoke 28-23 in this ODAC women's basketball contest. A lot to discover as we go to halftime stats. This is a first half that featured some shooting woes in departments that we haven't necessarily seen them in here in recent games. Roanoke shooting just 30% from the field, particularly Ashley Fowler, just 1 of 8 from the field, who has been one of the main contributors. The Maroons will look to get her going, and the Lynchburg 11% from three-point range, just 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. That has typically been the main blueprint for the Hornets to get ahead of other squads, and they haven't needed it so far, have inched ahead by 5, and the Hornets want to try and hold on to get that spot in the ODAC tournament. There's a lot of different metrics for the tiebreakers that will come down to Saturday if this Lynchburg team ends up losing, but more than likely, this is a play-in game for the ODAC tournament. And Lynchburg knows that if they win this game, they have the tiebreaker over Roanoke, winning both games on the season, and they're heading to face Washington and Lee. That is the story you would expect in a 1-8 matchup. Coach Allison Nichols and company working through the huddle as we get out of the break. Lynchburg has certainly felt a little bit more like at home, and this is a squad that has just used their home rims to their advantage throughout the season. So if the 3-ball can start falling, might be a little bit of a different story as we see Mariah Tate and Alicia Farmer chatting things over as we get set for this second half. Hornets led by 8 points from Audra Petty. Roanoke led by Snazarev 6, a pair of 3-pointers. Very balanced attack on the scoring side. Kaysen inbounds, and we're ready to go for the second 20 minutes. Littlejohn looks up top. Hornets haven't necessarily gone to the 3-ball often, obviously 1 of 9, but we've seen them shoot more than that and a half earlier in the season as Audra Petty has bumped on her way to the baseline. It's off her leg and out of bounds. Not the first possession that Coach Nichols wanted. Sometimes you think about how in football the entire opening drive can be scripted. You have your plays that you want to go to. Well, out of a break, basketball coaches love to script something up, but it feels like both plans have gone awry as a block from Lynchburg will put the ball out of play. Roanoke gets it right back. 3-ball no good. Kaysen deflects it out of bounds. Lynchburg hasn't beaten Roanoke at home since 2021. Trying to rewrite a little bit of history that's in the wrong direction as Alicia Farmer adds 2 more. The Hornets dominated this series. They won 11 in a row through the 2010s. That was 2011 to 2019. Ever since, Roanoke has really had the edge. So Alicia Farmer gets it right back, fouled by Petty before she could get there. Coach Flaherty wanted a clear path, and obviously that will be sending Farmer. Beg your pardon. Looked like she was walking to the free throw line. Didn't expect it. Just a side out from Roanoke. Audra Petty, just a heads-up play to get there. before the rest of the Lynchburg defense had to bail them out. 9:01 to go here in this third quarter. If you're just tuning in, Evan Gates rocking with you on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. And it has been an exciting matchup thus far. Backdoor wide open for Mariah Kane. Couldn't finish the play, but she'll have 2 free throws. How about the pass from Ashley Fowler? As we said, hasn't necessarily found her scoring, but she's impacted the stats in other categories as Kane sinks the first. Roanoke has benefited off 15 second chance points. That might be the difference maker so far as Farmer got her hand around. Just couldn't secure the rebound. In a game where Lynchburg has really defended well, we mentioned Roanoke shot just 31% from field goal range. They have left a lot of opportunities out there. Roanoke has capitalized on easy putbacks. Littlejohn tries to go with the crossover, pass outside to Parker. Not ready to shoot. Trying to get the ball out of her hands to Kaysen. Spainhour denied inside. Second chance, left it a little low. And Roanoke basketball. Coach Nichols wanted a deflection. It looked like the referee on the near side and said that it was a tip. Either way, Roanoke basketball. Mariah Tate now going to the hoop and couldn't keep that foot down. Travel sends it the other way. Important Wednesday evening for ODAC basketball, women and men. Obviously, Lynchburg on the men's side, a team that's looking to get a top 4 spot in the conference tournament. Chance to host one more game. They'll have senior day coming up on Saturday. That'll conclude the regular season. Littlejohn right around traffic. Cleans the window. Now Snezarev working quickly in the other direction. Fowler, no good on the 3. Farmer barrels through defenders to get the rebound. Frustrated as she got bumped on her way out. Kane on the rack attack. Fouled by Parker. That's the theme. Lynchburg allowing those offensive rebounds, and has been a struggle. We saw a taller lineup featured for a large portion of that first half. Taylor Brown, Jacqueline Jacobisi getting some minutes. Now 10 offensive boards for the Maroons. Farmer up top. Trying to shift directions. The spin around Littlejohn. Extra English that time. Moves Farmer's total up to 6. Here comes Littlejohn the other way and couldn't get it to go. Just trickled out. Kate Littlejohn so nifty at finding those little pockets of space. Able to get around, just couldn't get the layup to fall. 2 shots for 4 in white. 8 points on the day, and her 12 minutes of work, she'll sink the first. Missed 5 games with an injury earlier in the year. 4th in ODAC shooting beyond the perimeter last year, 36% from 3-point range. She's really developed a knack for getting to the hoop. That has been the big blueprint for this season. Has Lynchburg up 4. Tate picks up her dribble outside to Fowler. Now around to Snezarev. Extra space, and Kaysen able to collapse in the paint and rip that basketball away. They'll stay with the Maroons. Roanoke team that has really faced difficult ODAC competition from the outset. Lost to Guilford on December 3rd, Shenandoah on December 6th. So when you're thinking about how this schedule is crafted, obviously the ODAC a difficult conference. To face those 2 teams early in the year when you're still trying to figure out the rotations can be such a difficult hill to climb. Inbound from Kane to Farmer, wrap around, no good. Now fight for the rebound. Mariah Kane gets it right back. Snezarev, the opening, left it a little short. One more offensive board for the Maroons. Three-pointer left side. That'll rattle home for Mariah Tate. We've mentioned it throughout the entire game. Now 12 offensive boards for Roanoke. That has really helped them out. Still halfway through the third quarter. Hoffman with the crossover, goes outside to Vandergrift. 4 on the shot clock, gonna heave the 3 and misses everything. Spainhour, clean up duties downstairs. Perfect angle to go up for 2. Tate puts a little extra energy going the other way, no good. Here come the Hornets in transition. Littlejohn, race to the rim and foul on the way up. Really exposes those holes in the defense. She'll have 2 more free throws. That time the contact on Kane that did everything she could just to stay where she was at. Lineup swaps for both sides. For the Hornets, it's Hoffman, Parker, Littlejohn, Petty, and Brown. For Roanoke, Ingrid Marias into the game, Abigail Rice, Cecilia Robinson, along with Snezarev and Tate. Littlejohn makes the first player in double figures on the game with 10. Might come down to the little things, and a big difference between last year and this year's squad at the Hive is the free throw percentage. One of the best teams in the nation, shooting 76% from the charity stripe. This one slows down in the second half. It could be important. Audra Petty, basketball in her hand. Here comes Littlejohn. Maybe going right back to the paint. Now Petty up top. Aggressive defense on either side. Understand the ending isn't too far away. Littlejohn to Hoffman. Down to Parker, working against the shot clock. Goes across her body and rattles out. Tate, bounce pass downstairs to Marias. Passing around the perimeter, Snezarev, another 3. Can't get this one to go, and Hoffman fouled well away from home. That'll bring us to the media break. Third quarter action here in ODAC women's basketball. Lynchburg leads Roanoke 36-31.
Beyond the classroom. This is where you feel at home, where you feel connected. And this is the place where you'll answer that call. Here, you'll learn to lead the way in the industry you love. The equestrian sport management major at the University of Lynchburg. Accepting applications now.
See, in this hive, everybody has a place. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is a part of the swarm. We are engineers of empathy, architects of tomorrow, storytellers of today. We're not waiting to change the world. We already doing it.
Midway through the third, Lynchburg has held on to the lead throughout this contest, now up 5 over Roanoke. The battle of 460. Two teams that are very familiar with one another, and as we said, this is the 6th straight year that Roanoke has visited Turner Gymnasium. Goes back all the way to the ODAC championship in 2021. Championship Lynchburg was able to secure in a really tight game. Pacing outside to Petty. Jumper just beyond the free throw line. Clips the rim. Now a battle for the rebound. 4 bodies hit the hardwood. And Roanoke will take over. Let's talk about Lynchburg, what they're trying to do. Obviously, in a stretch where it feels like the struggles have started to mount, losing 4 of the last 5, but they have stayed afloat. Their last 5 wins have each been by at least 10 points or more. That was before the Hollins game. A pair of 1-possession affairs in the last 2. Before that, in the last 5 wins, they were plus 143, just dominating opponents. And obviously a difficult slate in the last few weeks. Snazarev tried to go over the top. Littlejohn met her there and now has the ball in transition. Looks left to Petty. Maybe a little isolation up top. Here's Brooke Kaysen. Littlejohn has the lane. Elbow jumper for Taylor Brown. Just misses the rim. Tate, other direction, met at the mountaintop. Brooke Kaysen got her hand on it and out of bounds on the Maroons. What a nifty play from the senior. Once again, you see how she keeps her body out of the equation using that hand, and that is just one of those plays when you can use your wingspan, get the fingertips in there. That is one of the moves that could really end up helping this team out. The little plays comes down to a game of inches. Roanoke looking the other way. Fresh off the tarmac, give and go. Snazarev shot on the wrong side of the backboard, but it looked like Littlejohn had stepped on the line. Back and forth we go. 2 teams trying to minimize the errors. Abigail Rice is ready for the 3. Gets past Petty between defenders and off the backboard. Roanoke team that is shooting south of 30% from the field. Still hanging in this game. Just a 3-point contest. Petty ready for 3. That's the front rim. Lynchburg now 1 of 11 from 3-point range. Alicia Farmer cutting to the bucket. 1-point ball game and timeout. Coach Allison Nichols. Roanoke can sniff. It's not too far-fetched. Does not only stick in this one, but come away with the victory. We'll be back in a 1-possession ball game. Lynchburg leads by 1. Here's a look at Coach Carla Flaherty. 163 wins and her 12 seasons at the helm here at Roanoke. Played basketball and softball at Bates College. She's been around the D3 landscape and, of course, worked with Coach Allison Nichols in previous years. Coach Nichols, the associate head coach at Roanoke after a stint as the head coach at Randolph. If that doesn't tell you about the ODAC history and just so many connections along the way, don't know what will. A lot of coaches that stay in the area. Of course, Coach Nichols played at Bridgewater as Caitlin Canada sinks the triple. Big time shot out of the break. 2 coaches that are certainly familiar with one another. Both would love a win on this Wednesday night. Canada's shot ruled a 2 for the moment. Beg your pardon, they did make it a 3 as Lynchburg is up 4. And now Bree Spainauer heading the other way. Pass cross court to Parker, connects to Kaysen in the corner. And Now Spainhour rattled at the top. Rebound falls to Fowler. Bounce pass all the way. Ingrid Marias driving baseline and works the foul on Littlejohn. Connections we talk about, not just limited to the coaching staffs, but also the players. Kate Littlejohn wearing Lynchburg threads this time around, her second season with the Hornets, but started her career with Roanoke. Turning into one of the premier scorers in the conference. Audra Petty has really been the leading scorer for Lynchburg this year at 17 a game, but Kate Littlejohn leading the charge as well. Cecilia Robinson downstairs, muscles through contact. Have an and one opportunity. Spainhour's first personal of the game as Abigail Rice takes a seat, Snezarev back in. 3 fouls for Littlejohn and 3 fouls for Brooke Kaysen. Troubling numbers for Lynchburg with 1:44 to go in the third. Mariah Kane, the only one with 3 personals for the Maroons. Littlejohn into the front court, nursing a 1-point lead. Looks to go left. Better defense from Alicia Farmer. Now Kaysen, the handoff, penetration, and Parker took an extra step. That could be a momentum killer for a possession where Lynchburg was a step ahead. Roanoke, a chance to take the lead again. A tightrope kind of affair where both teams really haven't fallen beyond a 5 or 6 point deficit. Now Fowler, jump stop right in the middle of the paint and sinks the 2. Maroons lead by 1. Ever so slightly, changing the direction of the seesaw. Now Lynchburg inserting the pass to Canada. Littlejohn ready from the corner, no good. Offensive board won't happen as it's snagged the other way by Tate. Spainhour was camped out in a perfect position. Instead, the Maroons ready to hoist on the other end. Snezarev, no good. A dangerous shot that would have been. Here comes Sayla Parker the other way, charging to the rack, denied on the way there. Now a foot race in the other direction. Kaysen gets it back. Canada is ready to fire. Got the 2 to go. An emphatic possession with 22 seconds to go in the third. Caitlin Canada right to her spot. Forces the foul as Alicia Farmer comes down hard. Lynchburg back into the lead. If this is any indication of what we have in store for the fourth quarter, buckle up. 10 minutes to perhaps decide NODAC tournament fate. Kayla Terry into the game to replace Brooke Kaysen. Coach Nichols wisely not wanting Kaysen or Littlejohn to pick up a 4th foul in the waning seconds of the third quarter. Tate jogging it up the floor. They'll settle for 1 possession. Receives the screen up top. Now looking to the corner. Fowler, another mid-range, front iron and out. Creeps to the corner, an extra chance, misses everything. Farmer's third opportunity, and she draws the foul. A matter of tenths of a second for Alicia Farmer to try and knot this game up at 42. Referees will discuss it as everyone heads back to the sideline. Time officially expires. Roanoke has 2 shots. What could be a huge momentum shifter. Lynchburg worked that possession well defensively. The referees want to take a look now to see how much time is left on the clock. To our knowledge, there isn't much. Thanks for tuning in on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. And what a game we have seen so far in both directions. Here's a second opportunity. Obviously, Farmer gets the shot off. There's no doubt about that. Hard to tell when the referee blew the whistle, but you see that light around the backboard indicates that time has expired. Farmer gets the rebound. Was the foul on the shot here as Kayla Terry got her hands in the cookie jar? You're probably looking at about 0.2 seconds put back on the clock, just enough to have time to shoot the free throws. Comes down to offensive rebounding once more for a Lynchburg team that has worked so many strong defensive possessions, haven't been able to add the punctuation mark. Closing out and going the other way has not been their friend. And for a team that has so far won for their last 12 from beyond the arc, they're going to need every ounce of help they can get. Almost had it correct on our initial guess. Flip the 2 over, and it's 0.5 seconds put back on the clock. Enough for Alicia Farmer to shoot 2 important free throws, a chance to tie it up as she leads the Maroons with 8. This is the front end. Lynchburg's largest lead was 7. Hasn't gotten past that mark. Farmer rattles home the second. That's where our third quarter expires. Roanoke able to add one more to the tally, though they trail by 1. An important fourth quarter on the way. Lynchburg and Roanoke, and a midweek tussle on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Diving in college taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's gonna become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academics. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited to start my dream program for physical therapy.
A trademark of this place is self-expression. Not forced, not filtered, not a facade. We don't shape students into copies. We help you find your own voice.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our
Final 10 minutes on the way. Lynchburg taking on Roanoke, and the Hornets outpacing the Maroons by 1. 12 points for Kate Littlejohn, who leads the way. The lime green shoes for the Hornets. She has the basketball in her hands to begin the final frame, an important one. Lynchburg with a win, moving on to the ODAC tournament. Spainhour looks to drive baseline, now trapped, has to get it out. Littlejohn, extra one to Kaysen. Slows down the offense. Shooting lineup for Lynchburg. Almost everyone can shoot the three-pointer. Littlejohn decides it's her time. A long one. Bounces off the rim. Scram for the rebound. It falls to Kaysen. Now Spainhour. Reverses left to Hoffman, and Littlejohn bumped heavily off ball. Fouls in the early moments of this fourth quarter could be important. Obviously, getting into the bonus, Lynchburg, a team that's top 10 in Division III for free throw shooting. Spainhour assesses the situation, goes left, tries to spin, working towards the rim, and muscles it home. Spainhour, 7 points, 10 boards on the day. Now a jumper just inside the three-point line, and Tate, the freshman, 2 important points. This Roanoke team is fearless for a team that was almost out of the water about 2 weeks ago. Able to put together 4 straight wins before the loss against Shenandoah, as Littlejohn is going to be charged with her 4th personal. On the rebound, and that is a tough situation now for the Hornets. Audra Petty enters, replacing Caitlin Canada, and you got to keep Littlejohn out there. Coach Nichols going to send Sayla Parker to the scorer's table. We'll see if Roanoke tries to go right at Little John this time. The pass results in a wrap-up. Roanoke basketball under the cup. 19 on the shot clock. They'll go to the corner. Snezerev had the pair of threes earlier. Back outside to Tate. Looking to penetrate. Goes right hand up and in. Maroons back into the lead. A leapfrog affair here in the second half. Kaysen trying to work into the paint. Goes back out to Parker. Now Petty. 4 on the shot clock. Trying to get into the paint. Fade away, no good. Around the cylinder and out. That's an impressive look to even create that shot as the shot clock dwindled down. Roanoke now working with their patience on the other side. Alicia Farmer kicks out to Fowler. Gonna get the short corner jumper and fouled. Likely the last thing on the list of to-dos for Lynchburg is sending Fowler to the free throw line, someone who has struggled significantly from field goal range. Just 2 of 11 on the day. Ashley Fowler, a junior, a transfer from Coker University. Really was a round success from an early age. During her basketball days, won a state championship in high school at the Cannon School. And the Charlotte native has been an important puzzle piece for Coach Carla Flaherty. 9 games this season with 35 or more minutes. Trending in that direction with 29 on the game. Ups her total to 8 points. Hoffman is over the top. Petty, extra dribble downstairs and gets it to go. Now Farmer working one-on-one with Kaysen, also in foul trouble. Got her hand there. The ball is free into the hands of Petty. Stellar defense once more from the senior. Now working to the middle of the floor. We'll give the handoff to Hoffman. Kaysen will need to be huge with Kate Littlejohn, the main point guard, on the bench with 4 fouls. Now there's another one off the pass. Maroons charged. And it will be Fowler's first. Hoffman will inbound under the bucket. 6:40 to go. Petty trying to work baseline again, and an offensive foul. Abigail Rice got right to the spot, understood the assignment. Hits the hardwood, Roanoke takes over. That was a very easy one right in front of the referee. You saw that left arm extended by Petty. Now here comes Mariah Kane. Kicks out to Fowler. Hesitation, extra one downstairs, taken away. Turnovers haunting both teams in this affair. Lynchburg at 14, Roanoke at 11. Feels like there have been some timely ones. Shot clock falling down again. Petty trying to keep that pivot foot, did just enough. Hoffman gonna have to shoot, goes through contact, no whistle. Tate, pass denied by Kaysen. Now Roanoke wants to slow it down. Snazarev up top. Maroons holding on to a 1-point lead. And a foul by Parker. Lynchburg with a win, heading to the ODAC tournament. One they would love after beating Roanoke on the road earlier in the season. A costly loss last time out to Averett that has put them in this situation. Averett, team that has played much better at home than they have on the road. Same can be said for Roanoke, who's 2-7 in road games this year. Abigail Rice off the bench, adding an extra surge to the Maroons' charge up 4. Lynchburg has to feel like they need a little bit of urgency now. Scoreless last minute and a half, 1 for their last 13 from beyond the arc. Kate Littlejohn back into the game. Alicia Farmer will do the same for the Maroons. 4 fouls for Littlejohn. A risk you likely have to take if you're Coach Nichols in the waning minutes of this one. Pass outside, Kaysen searching for options. Now Littlejohn. Guarded by Abigail Rice, and a foul on the screen. Bree Spainhour just moved a little bit too much. 3rd personal. Now the Hornets have committed 5 fouls in the half. Roanoke will be in the bonus. That's 5 fouls in the 4th quarter, rather. Snezarev, extra handoff to Kane. Lost her rock on the way there. Pass to Spainhour. Now searching for options, Hoffman. Extra to a wide open Taylor Brown. High off the glass and in. Much needed bucket for Lynchburg to make it a 1-possession game. Tate trying to penetrate, goes outside. Rice, another 3 from the corner. She is feeling it in this 4th. Abigail Rice averaging just 5 points per game. Now up to double figures. Spainhour denied on the way up. Coach Nichols animated on the sideline. Roanoke wants to slow things down, and Coach Carla Flaherty sprinting to the referee to get the timeout in. Maroons up 5 with 3:56 to go in the 4th quarter. Important minutes coming up. We'll be right back on LHSN. Lynchburg trying to secure their spot in the ODAC tournament with a victory. Now a steeper climb, 3:56 to go. They trail by 5. Roanoke basketball on this side. Abigail Rice, a pair of big-time jumpers to propel Roanoke ahead. Tate dishes off to Kane. Now the bounce the other way. Lynchburg overplaying those passing lanes. Got to be careful, allowing penetration. Rice called for the travel. Looked like she had lost the basketball before she encountered any contact, so Lynchburg takes over. 3:42 to go in the 4th. 4 fouls for Kate Littlejohn, 3 for Kaysen and Spainhour. Perhaps their final home game, their Hornet careers. Spainhour goes around the right side. finds her mark to make it a one-possession game. Tate ready for the hesitation. The freshman weaving in and out. Pass inserted to Rice. Now Alicia Farmer had it taken away. Kaysen had to watch behind, and the ball goes to the scores table. A thump off the microphone. Joe Brennan didn't see that one coming right from the front row. Feels like that's been the type of game we have seen every single play. Just a little extra energy and a few extra decibels this time. Lynchburg a chance to tie it. Kaysen temporarily left alone beyond the arc. Littlejohn, the Euro step, connects the dots in the paint. East to west, so silky, so smooth to make it a one-point game. Tate fires a three and got it. Down the hatch, the freshman, fearless, puts Roanoke up 4. Littlejohn gives away the basketball, and Coach Nichols, sensing the momentum shifting, will keep it right here with 2:35 to play. That is a huge three-pointer. Mariah Tate, the 5'7" freshman out of Bedford, Virginia, averaging just 5 points per game and 2 rebounds, getting her first collegiate start today. Now she's in double figures. You see she just wastes no time. Taylor Brown obviously not going to be her traditional perimeter defender. It's one of the tallest players on the floor. And all of a sudden, Lynchburg turning this one into a little bit more of a sprint. Still 4-point deficit. You have plenty of time. It's got to start with taking care of the basketball. Maroons will have possession. Lynchburg trying to beat Roanoke at home for the first time since 2021. Able to defeat Roanoke on the road in January. It was the first win against the Maroons since 2022. Tate kicks outside, Snazarev. Proficient from three-point range, waits this time. There's Mariah Kane. Farmer kicks out to Snazarev and had the ball ripped away. Farmer tries a three, front iron and out. Lynchburg had plenty of rebounders. Here comes Littlejohn. Working baseline, able to draw the contact. Abigail Rice has been solid defensively in that position, but look at the hesitation from Littlejohn. Just beats her to the spot. Able to draw the foul. 2 big free throws on the way. Littlejohn on the contest. Perfect 6 for 6 from the stripe. And a Lynchburg team that desperately needs these. Cam's the first. Hornets narrowly missing the ODAC tournament last year and trying to prevent a similar fate. Obviously, they have full possession of this opportunity as they get the offensive board. They win and they're in. Hoffman surveying right side, finds Kaysen, open to tie it, no good. And Littlejohn gonna get away with the contact, a traveling violation. That is how close of a game basketball can be. Littlejohn playing with 4 fouls. If that's called the other way, a foul on the contact, she's out of the game. Instead, Lynchburg has possession. Hoffman has to get it in. Goes to the corner. Kaysen connects with her senior counterpart, Spainhour. Right under the bucket. Taylor Brown able to stick it in for 2. 1-point game with 90 seconds to go. The battle we anticipated starting to play out in Turner Gymnasium. 2 teams dead-bolted throughout the season. And a foul off the ball. They're going to call that on Taylor Brown. Roanoke in the bonus. Ashley Fowler back into the contest. She'll replace Mariah Kane. And 2 shots for Alicia Farmer, which if you're going to send anybody to the line for Roanoke, obviously there are worse candidates to beat you, but Farmer hits the first. On the season, Farmer shooting just 56% from the charity stripe. Does that change in the pressure moments? It sure will this time. Swishes home the second. 3-point lead for Roanoke. Critical possessions. Hoffman. Outside to Spainhour, has an open lane to the corner. Got it! Brooke Kaysen, bingo to tie it up at 58. Maybe the biggest 3 of her Lynchburg career. Timeout, Coach Flaherty. One senior to another. Spainhour to Kaysen, and we're knotted up at 58. Stay tuned, and Turner Gymnasium will be back with the final minute of regulation.
For top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
Here in Lynchburg, the cage birds don't just sing, they
How fitting is it that Lynchburg has made just 3 3-pointers out of their 16 attempts in the third, perhaps the biggest of the season. The Hornets looking to clinch a spot in the ODAC tournament with the win. Brooke Kaysen from the corner, able to tie this one up at 58. Opposition starts with the ball. Roanoke up top. Now Farmer goes to her left. Snazarev trying to gain separation. Fowler ripped through. 3-pointer for the lead. Timeout, Coach Nichols. Snazarev's early shooting in this contest proved to be a problem, and Snazarev adds to the tally. All of a sudden, Lynchburg backs against the wall again. Very similar to the last 3-pointer they hit, and some big shots in this fourth quarter. Got the mismatch and forced Taylor Brown to defend the perimeter. 3-point game, 34 seconds to go. This Roanoke team that occupied 4th in the preseason poll has just continued to try and climb back. They've been out of ODAC tournament contention for the last few weeks, if you looked at the standings. In fact, they still are. 9th place. If they can get this win, that would certainly help them out. Hornets gonna have to dig deep into the bag of tricks. You understand that this Roanoke defense is prepared for anything and everything. In a game that hasn't necessarily featured the Hornets' best perimeter shooting. We'll see if they try and draw up another one. Brooke Kaysen has been on point so far throughout the contest. Lynchburg has another lineup full of 3-point shooters. Hoffman, Littlejohn, Kaysen, Spainhour, and Brown. The 5 on the floor with 34 seconds to go. Sideline inbounds. Plenty of time left in the Hive. Littlejohn bounce to Spainhour. And Littlejohn fouled off ball. Looked like the screen was designed perfectly to give her a 3-point opportunity. Instead, Lynchburg now in the bonus. Littlejohn's gonna have 2 shots. I'll slow down the clock, 25 seconds to go. Now 2 shots. Littlejohn laces home the first. Hornets have certainly had their fair share of tight games throughout the season, but 1-4 when the game is decided by 5 points or fewer. They don't want to add one more loss to the tally, and it is imperative that it is a strong defensive possession. 25 seconds to go. They trail by 1. Likely, if you don't get the trap, you're going to need to foul. It might come down to a shot on the other end. If you're just tuning in, ODAC women's basketball on this Wednesday night, a season that has featured 14 home games for this Lynchburg team. This is the final one. Of course, Saturday, the final day of the regular season. Lynchburg's on the road to face EMU. That'll be a 2 o'clock start time in Harrisonburg. Roanoke going to have their senior day. That's Saturday the 21st as they face Randolph-Macon, a 4:30 start time if you're a Maroons fan tuning in. Exciting action. You could say it's been a rivalry. Two teams that have been back and forth in recent seasons. Lynchburg dominated the 2010s. Roanoke has flipped the script in recent seasons. They're up by 1. Hit the pass inside to Snezerev. Now Lynchburg gonna have to foul, and they do so with 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Fouls on Kaysen. That'll be her 4th. Not many options to work with. Sayla Parker was right there as well, but she also had 3 fouls. So now the foul trouble is 4 for Littlejohn, 4 for Kaysen, 3 for Spainhour, Parker, and Brown. 2 shots on the other end. Big ones for the freshman Mariah Tate. Hit a clutch 3. Now she has a chance at the free throw line to make it a 3-point game. Ice in her veins. Timeout, Coach Nichols. Perhaps the draw up of the season. This is where it really starts to matter. Lynchburg with plenty of time. The question is going to be, how much of the clock do they allow to bleed off before they get that shot opportunity? You don't necessarily need a 3. Got to play the percentages and understand that the Hornets haven't shot it all that well, but on the same note, do you trust Roanoke to miss their free throws? 12 of 19 on the day from the charity stripe for the Maroons. Lynchburg has put up an 11 for 13 mark. Coach Flaherty before the game said, I told this group to write the ending to their own story, not to let anyone write it for them. Doesn't it seem fitting? This Roanoke team who has climbed back into the conversation for the ODAC tournament. You're always one game away from an upset, a chance to go and write their own destiny. They have held true to the blueprint, trying to keep Lynchburg off the board. Down 3. Littlejohn receives the basketball. Tight perimeter defense from Roanoke. Clock down to 10. Kaysen, foot on the line on the sideline. Coach Nichols hustling to send in Sayla Parker and Natalie Poole, likely for fouling purposes, and that is a dagger for this Lynchburg team as Brooke Kaysen was just a little too deep on that sideline. 9 seconds to go. Hornets gonna have to foul quickly. And this Roanoke team starting to sniff that they are right where they need to be. Winners of 4 of the last 5. Neither of these teams have really had a signature win throughout the season. Sometimes there are 1 or 2 that really stick out at you. Feels like these 2 teams have adjusted the blueprint along the way. And in some of those games, some of those winning streaks, it has felt almost impossible to lose. At other times, you've seen the other valley and understood what it requires to overtake it. Audra Petty and Ashley Vandergrift out onto the floor for Lynchburg as well. So Madison Hoffman and Sayla Parker go out. Perhaps Coach Nichols playing the matchup card. So Roanoke sends out a little bit of size. Up 3, 9 seconds to go. Referee will intervene, make sure the clock is ready to go. Audra Petty gonna step away from the inbounder. Here it is. They hit the pass into Fowler. Now to Farmer. There's a foul. We'll wait to see who it's charged on. That's on Brooke Kaysen, and that's her 5th. all of a sudden, Coach Nichols trying to send in different options to get the foul, and now one of the key pieces has fouled out. Kaysen, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals on the day. A profound impact on this one, and Farmer misses the front end. The box out is imperative. Spainhour and Petty, and Spainhour giving some instructions across the paint. Second free throw up and down the hatch. 6 seconds to go. Littlejohn gonna let it bounce. Gonna have to hurry. Pass. Gonna go backcourt, and Roanoke is gonna find their way out of the hive with the victory. What a game of back and forth action, and the Maroons victorious and persistent. Coach Flaherty and company keeping their hopes alive at the postseason. A 4-point win here in Turner Gymnasium. 64-60, the Maroons able to even up the season series and make Saturday very interesting for ODAC implications. We appreciate you spending this Wednesday evening with us here on LHSN and Flo College. As this one concludes, Lynchburg led by Kate Littlejohn, 17 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. Roanoke just had a healthy number of contributors, and at the right times. Mariah Tate, Alicia Farmer, Abigail Rice, all in double figures, as Roanoke is able to overcome the shooting woes in this performance. Big thanks to everybody for helping out. Our director, Ethan Morotsky, and the entire LHSN crew for stepping in. Roanoke 64, Lynchburg 60. Here from the University of Lynchburg, my name is Evan Gates, saying so long from the Hill City.